Host catching, and Paulino will do the pitching.
Take a look at the Cubs defensively today. Jake Fox in left field. Kosuke Fukudome out in center. Milton Bradley over in right field. Jeff Baker getting the start at third. Andres Blanco getting the start at short. Mike Fontenot at second. Derek Lee over at first base. Boy Hill will be doing the catching today for left-hander Ted Lilly. Making his 11th start of the season here at Wrigley. As I mentioned, the previous 10 all quality starts, coming off a quality start against the Mets here. He was no decision in a 5-2 Cubs victory. Went 7 1/3, gave up 6 hits and 2 runs in that ball game.
Blas Diaz, who joined the Major League staff in 1999 and worked the World Series 2 years ago, is going to call the balls and strikes. Cooper, Riley, Merriweather are on the bases. This is the kind of day, Bob, you'll want to be at the ballpark.
Oh, this is the way you wish the weather was every day of the baseball season. Absolutely ideal. Bright sunshine above, not a cloud in the sky. Temperatures very comfortable.
And a reminder, this telecast is presented in beautiful high definition, brought to you by Comcast. So the Cubs Roberto Clemente Award recipient Ted Lilly will face Kaz Matsui, Jeff Keppinger, and the Astros Clemente Award winner Hunter Pence here in the first inning. You see Hill setting up toward the inside part of the plate. And a called strike from Lilly. We're underway. Matsui with 1 hit, a stolen base, and a run last night.
A little different looking Astros lineup with no Michael Bourne at the top of it. He has been a thorn in the Cubs side throughout the first 2 games of this series, getting on base, stealing bases, scoring runs for the Astros. Not to mention the defense that he's played in center field.
A rainbow out toward right. Bradley now has to go back on it and gets there right at the edge of the track for the out. Well, with a starting pitcher actually pitching today, one of his teammates, Ryan Dempster, accepting the Clemente Award on Ted Lilly's behalf. It's a wonderful award for community service. It's the 8th annual Roberto Clemente Day around Major League Baseball. Jeff Keppinger, who always hits lefties, and this year no exception. 321 versus southpaws. He's playing third. And it's 2-0 on him. Ted now facing the Astros for the 4th time this year, but the first time at home. He beat them all 3 times at Minute Maid Park.
His first start of the year against the Astros at Minute Maid Park, an 11-6 Cubs victory. The numbers aren't that pretty, but you just throw those out. The Cubs had a big lead in the ball game. Ted went 5 innings, gave up 8 hits and 5 runs, including a couple of long home runs. But as I mentioned, had a big lead in the ball game. All he wanted to do was throw it over the plate, let his defense work behind him, and he did give up a few runs in the first one.
Kick, the 2-2 curveball bounces in front of home plate to fill it up at 3-2. He's been really good in 3 starts off the DL, but he doesn't have a win. That's because his teammates haven't given him much run support. It's a roller to Jeff Baker. Throws out Jeff Keppinger.
Jeff Baker showing his versatility today, moving across from his normal second base position to start at third in place of Aramis Ramirez today. And like most of the Cub infielders, he takes ground balls all over the infield every day.
Walter Pence will be recognized in Houston on Friday for winning the Astros Clemente Award. Side.
Well, we've
Not
talked
a lot of high batting averages against Lilly in this lineup.
Nope. And we've talked about Hunter Pence throughout the first two games of this series, how tightly wound he is. If you watch him even up there at the plate as he's waiting for Ted to deliver the next pitch.
High fly, and it's Jake Fox keeping his feet moving and makes the play. Tosses the ball up into the bleachers and left. So Pence now 4 for 21 against Ted Lilly. They go down in order, and the Cubs are coming up. Gome's going to lead it off. Andres Blanco back off the DL, and he starts at short. Lee, Bradley, Fox in left for Soriano. Fontenot at second. Baker in there for Ramirez, and the battery is Hill and Lilly. Set the Astros defense here in a second. Felipe Paulino just 2-6 on the year, an ERA of almost 7. And the first pitch strike to Kosuke. One missed, 1-1. Pretty ugly numbers. 89 hits in under 65 innings for Paulino.
And if you look beyond the numbers at specific categories, the splits for Felipe Paulino, there is not one situation where he does not get hit hard. Nobody on base, runners in scoring position, pick a count. He has been banged around pretty hard this year.
As a leadoff man, Fukudome hitting .321 with a .437 on base percentage. And working a favorable count and taking ball 4.
Take a quick look at the Astros defensively today. El Caballo, Carlos Lee out in left field. Jason Michaels in center. Hunter Pence over in right field. Keppinger, Tejada, Matsui, and Boone across the infield today. Catching for the Astros, Humberto Quintero. And on the mound, right-hander Felipe Paulino.
Andres Blanco impressed the Cubs with his defense. And he was up here earlier. Went on the disabled list on August 4th with a strained left calf. And hit .280 in 20 games during his rehab assignment with AAA Iowa. First career homer was against the Astros. Doug Brocale here on July 29th. He was activated yesterday. That's outside. 1-1. There's no question Andres is a major league defender, and at the plate I think the big issue for him is simply maybe understanding what type of hitter he is, shortening up his stroke, trying to hit the ball on the ground and maybe beat out some infield hits.
You know, the circumstances had been different here at Wrigley Field this summer for the Cubs. If they had been hitting the ball and scoring runs the way they did last year, Blanco may have had a bigger part with this team, where you can afford to carry a defensive player just because of his glove and the runs that he prevents from scoring. But with a ball club that's been looking for offense all summer long, Blanco was not the guy.
Just in terms of his batting average, it's actually 10 points higher than Mike Fontenot's. Mike certainly hits for more power. Astros have gotten a couple of good starts from Oswalt and Moeller. Their starters with a 2.19 ERA in the first 2 games of the series. Inside corner at 98. Paulino's got a pretty fast heater and freezes Blanco.
We were told with that heater, however, he threw a lot of them right down the middle of the plate this season. That time just does nip the inside corner on Andres Blanco. A little bit of movement back toward the middle of the plate.
Now Derek Lee with a man on, 1 out. Ball 1. One thing we've talked about quite a bit is the lack of stolen bases for the Cubs. They have a major league low 45 on the year. They've been caught 28 times. They have the worst stolen base percentage. And the guy at first base has actually been caught more times than he's been successful. Fukudome just 6 for 14. That's something Lou would like to see improve dramatically next year as a team, not just Fukudome.
I think the percentage part of it can be explained because we don't really have a lot of guys that are straight base stealers. Lou has tried to hit and run from time to time this year. When the batter doesn't make contact, you're going to run into a lot of easy outs at second base.
2-2. The kick and the pitch, that's hit foul. It's the first strike that's been of the swinging variety. First 6 were looking as the Cubs had a patient approach early on against Paulino. One other outing against the Cubs and it didn't go well. It was in relief. On May 7th in Houston, he was charged with 4 runs on 5 hits in just 2/3 of an inning. Another foul by Lee. It's still 2-2. Gave up a 2-run homer to Alfonso Soriano in that outing. Gets a sign from Quintero. And it's 3-2, and you would expect Fukudome to be running. Try to avoid that double play.
And if indeed Fukudome is on the move, which we think he will be, Derek Lee has a monster hole on the right side of the infield to shoot for.
He goes, and a ground ball not hit hard, and the throw will have to go to first by Keppinger, and he gets the out. Two down. It brings up Milton Bradley.
Fukudome with a little bit of a late start over there at first base, but it's a moot point because Derek grounds that ball easily down to third base. 5-3 put out. Fukudome in scoring position for the hottest Cubs hitter, Milton Bradley. That 4 spot today. Seemingly found a home in that number 2 spot in the lineup, but with the changes to the original lineup today. Bradley in the 4-hole.
And that's where he started this year, in between Derek Lee and Aramis Ramirez. Outside corner and a strike. 1-1. The White Sox are here tomorrow, and then the Cubs head off to New York. So 3 days, 3 opponents, and starting today, over their next 11 games, 9 will be matinees. Only 2 under the lights. Friday night in New York and next Tuesday in Pittsburgh. So set that alarm clock for the early hours, Mr. Brindley.
I'm always up.
You don't need an alarm clock. You get up at the same time every day. Noon, whether you're here or not.
I work off of that old theory. It's a lot easier to stay up than get up.
I kind of go with a half hour is better than nothing. Ground ball up the middle. And Tejada, and will throw out Bradley to end the inning. Not sure what happened there. Well, we'll look at it when we come back. End of 1, no score. First pitch of the second inning misses for ball 1 to Carlos Lee. We had the big night in game 1 Monday. A homer and 4 RBIs, but 0 for 4 last night. 2-0 to Lee.
I think he took the caller last night because Randy Wells pitched him as good as we've seen any Cubs pitcher go after Carlos Lee. Kept that ball on the outside corner or further away. In the rare instances where he did come in, he came in off the plate where Carlos couldn't get to it, and then Randy went right back on that outside corner again.
Thanks to Randy for chatting with Josh Moore in our pregame. It's subtle, but if you listen closely, there's a lot going on there. He says, I listen and I watch a lot. That sounds a lot like Greg Maddux. That's a base hit as Blanco is shaded toward the hole. And Lee found the other hole right up the middle for the hit. And we saw Milton Bradley not run all the way through, and here's why. He actually slipped coming out of the box.
Yeah, the broken bat on contact. He slipped right there, almost tripped himself. But the defense didn't stop. Just keep running. You never know what's going to happen. If that ball's bobbled up the middle of the field, a poor throw in the dirt, they still would have time to recover and get the out at first base.
Tejada 1 for 7 so far in the series. Tied for the league lead in doubles with 37. Swing and a miss. Tied for third in hits with 157. Ground ball that'll back up Baker. They get one, but not two.
"23 times this season, Tejada has grounded into a double play. That was very nearly number 24, which would have vaulted him into first place in the National League. Baker had to back up just a little bit to get that good hop, and that ruined the rhythm of the play, and Tejada able to leg it out at first base.
So he takes over for Lee at first. It's Jason Michaels starting for Michael Bourne in center. Michaels has made starts at all three outfield spots. Inside, ball one. Since July 5th, he's hit .340 after a very slow start to the season. There was a time, Bob, when he was with the Phillies, I thought he was one of those guys with more playing time who might settle into an everyday role with somebody. I think he'll hang around for a while as a part-time guy and a pinch hitter. You ask? We shall see.
It's that easy. Jason Michaels with 117 at-bats on the season, 47 of those as a pinch hitter. 70 at-bats as a starter for the Houston Astros this year.
Played collegiately at University of Miami. Up in the air, Fukudome drifting over, battling that sun. 2 down.
Just the lightest of breezes blowing in from right field, maybe a little bit across from right to left. Shouldn't have too much effect on the batted balls in the game today. Maybe knock down balls hit straight away right field, but shouldn't have too much effect.
Smattering of applause for Aaron Boone, who makes his Astros debut. He's been working on a comeback all season long from open heart surgery on March 26th at Stanford University Medical Center in California. Had a condition corrected that he had been dealing with since he was at the University of Southern Cal. A bicuspid aortic valve was replaced. He has an 8 to 10 inch scar in the middle of his upper torso. And after the surgery, it was uncertain whether he would ever play again, let alone this season. And by July 24th, he was taking BP and ground balls. And here he is back in the majors. And he flies to left. Jake Fox coming in a few steps. So Lee with a leadoff single, but he ends up stranded. Actually, Tejada ended up stranded at first. Middle of the second, no score. Valspar Day here at Wrigley Field. Jake Fox takes ball one outside. Swing and a miss. Jake's put together a very solid rookie season and versatile defensively. We're having trouble with that slider.
He's been seeing a lot more breaking stuff from opposing pitchers in the National League. You have that grace period when you first get to the majors. Everybody wants to challenge with a fastball just to see what kind of a bat speed you do have. And Jake proved very quickly he could handle most guys' fastball. And lately he's been seeing a lot of breaking pitches.
Yeah, sure you will.
Yeah. Desperation is setting in here at the end of the season.
I'm not buying it. I think she could just shorten it to Len. That would be fine. Years down the road, we're going to run into a kid named Len Bob.
Len Bob.
And it'll be a girl. I guess you could go with Bobby Len or Lynn. Get close to it. One and two to Fontenot. Got him. Third strikeout for Paulino. Oh, you see that Yankee cap? Wow, are they surging? They've won 5 in a row. They're 36 games over 500 and have won 22 of their last 28. 25 games over 500 at home. I think they like new Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, you think?
Wow.
But the real story is if they would happen to lose 2 ball games in a row, the Yankee fans would be upset. Blow it up, back up the truck, let's start over.
Baker hits it hard, knocked down by Boone. Is he going to have time? What a play by Aaron Boone as Paulino got there to beat Baker. So that'll end the second. We are scoreless from Wrigley. Chris Coast caught the first 2 games for Houston. So they've been splitting time after the trade of Pudge Rodriguez to the Texas Rangers. Rangers swept a doubleheader against the Blue Jays yesterday. In Game 2, Josh Hamilton hit a couple of home runs. It had been a while since he had homered. Backhanded by Baker, long throw, but time, and Lee will apply the tag as he came off the base with his foot.
Well, you never like to make a bad throw across the diamond, but if you're going to do it with the slowest base runner on the other team, so you give your first baseman enough chance to recover and apply the tag.
And do it with Derek Lee over on the other end.
That helps too.
Paulino taking a healthy hack. 1 for 22 in his career. 1 for 16 this season. Ted has been excellent at home. 6-1 with a 1.92. He's been among the league leaders in home ERA the entire year. He's had a quality start in every outing at home, 10 of them.
Which is really remarkable for a fly ball pitcher pitching in Wrigley Field. Now, certainly there have been some starts that Ted Lilly has had here at Wrigley where the wind was howling straight in, but there's been a lot of games with crosswinds or wind blowing out, and for a guy that gives up a lot of fly ball outs and over the course of a season will give up his share of home runs, for him to pitch that effectively here at Wrigley really speaks to how good he's been.
Got him on the curveball for his first strikeout. Tonight, catch the latest edition of Chicago Tribune Live on Comcast Sportsnet. David Kaplan, Tribune writer, sports stars, and celebrities discuss the day's hottest sports topics and set the table for the night ahead. Don't miss Chicago Tribune Live, presented by Harris Bank, tonight at 5:30, right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Matsui fly to right to start the game. I don't know if we can read anything into this, because it's a pretty small sample size, and we both know that the wind direction can change throughout a 3-hour game. But Cubs are 22-21 when the wind has blown in, which it's doing today out of the east at 5 miles an hour. When the wind blows out, the Cubs are 10-5, but a crosswind 7-0. That's out of the southeastern northwest. So go figure.
Yeah, I think that's probably more a byproduct of the starting pitchers for the respective teams and the opposing lineup on a given day.
Was sliding toward the inside, and Matsui fouled it back. Two and two. Well, that's a pitch the batter, the catcher, the umpire, they have to really wait. That curveball just to see if it catches a sliver of the plate. And it's golfed out into right center for a base hit. On May 3rd, the Cubs retired the number 31 in honor of 2 of the greatest pitchers to ever wear a Cubs uniform, Hall of Famer Fergie Jenkins and future Hall of Famer Greg Maddux. For a limited time only, Cubs fans can purchase their very own commemorative painting of Jenkins and Maddux. Each painting is signed by the artist and individually numbered. Order yours today at Cubs.com. I did not hear of anybody in the ballpark last night at a complete bingo card. I came up, I think, 5 boxes short. Baseball bingo, we had a lot of fun with different baseball related events. Hopefully we'll do that again next year. That was fun.
I didn't hear anybody yell bingo. According to the rules of the game, there were 24 boxes with various events that happened during the course of the game, and you had to get all 24 of them on your card filled out in order to be considered a bingo winner. Entered for the grand prize drawing. I think I missed by 8 boxes. I had some tough ones there.
Now, one of them was bases loaded. Never had that happen last night. Didn't have a triple. I don't even know, did we? Yeah, we had 1 double. Well, 2 doubles.
I had a hit by pitch that I didn't get. Had a throw back a home run ball, which I didn't mind not getting.
Only going on the 3-1, and the catch by Blanco as he lays out. Just ripped it away from Keppinger. Nicely done by Andres Blanco to end the inning. With a runner going, he probably didn't save a run, but you never know with 2 outs. Still scoreless. One nothing on catcher Coy Hill. Talked about Coy in the open. 7 for 16 on the homestand, .333 over his last 21 games. During that span, that ties him for second among catchers in batting average, along with A.J. Pierzynski, who we'll see tomorrow. Not a big surprise who's leading the majors since July 29th in that category. Joe Mauer at .389. A roller to Boone, who picks it up and will take it unassisted. Tickets are still available for Cubs games this season, including bleacher seats. To purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. Call 1-800-THE-CUBS or visit the Wrigley Field box office. So here's what's coming up over the final month. After the makeup game against the White Sox tomorrow, next homestand will feature the Cincinnati Reds for 3. Starting Friday, September 11th, and then 4 against Milwaukee, the 14th through the 17th. The final homestand will be the final week of the season. The Pirates are in for 4, including a makeup doubleheader on the 30th. It'll be a split doubleheader. Base hit left field. Ted Lilly with the Cubs' first hit. And the Diamondbacks are here October 4th. Rather, the 2nd through the 4th to wrap up the regular campaign. A 6-game trip coming up. Comcast Sportsnet will have games Friday, Saturday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and also tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Sox and Cubs. Feldco upcoming schedule. Dome fouls back.
Next road trip, we go to one of the most popular international cities in the world, center of fashion and finance. And we go to New York too.
Lilly takes off. Fukudome went around, and Ted is out. Something happened there.
Just trying to make an educated guess, I would say that Kosuke Fukudome possibly missed a hit and run sign. Although Ted Lilly doesn't glance back at home plate at all, that's not necessarily a surefire indicator. Looked like he just had a walking lead over there and was going to try to steal the base. I mean, you wouldn't expect any kind of a bunt and run with one out already in the inning. If anything, possibly a hit and run, but Kosuke showed bunt before taking that pitch out of the strike zone.
So Ted now 2 for 3 in his career in stolen base attempts. Don't love seeing him go in head first.
Ugh.
Fly ball left field. This will end the inning as Carlos Lee makes a catch. We've completed 3, still no score. Astros and Cubs in the rubber match. But having nobody with at least 10 wins. Randy Wells got his 10th win, but it was on September 1st. So Ted was caught stealing after picking up the first Cubs hit. We'll go back to work on the mound, facing Pence, Lee, and Tejada. Middle of this order. A little bit inside, 1 ball, no strikes.
Started to talk about Hunter Pence in his first at bat of this ball game. As you watch him wait for the pitch from Ted Lilly, he seems to get tighter and tighter and tighter, like winding a wristwatch just a little bit too far.
Which is the opposite of a guy you talk about a lot, Chase Utley.
Chase Utley very loose. He takes that last practice swing as the pitcher's beginning his windup. Just doesn't want to have any tension in his forearms or his wrists. But this is how Hunter Pence feels he can best attack those opposing pitchers.
Lilly signed a 4-year, $40 million free agent contract prior to 2007. The Cubs have gotten a really nice return on their investment. An all-star this year. Career high 17 wins last season. 15 the year before. Tried the kick save, and that glances off the glove of Fontenot, and Pence is going to try to take an extra base, and he'll get it. Well, it's a good effort by Fontenot, but you know, hindsight's 20/20. If he doesn't deflect it, that's a single.
And once again, that's one of those plays where, as a defender, you should have that stopwatch running in your head, knowing that Hunter Pence runs well. I mean, even if Mike Fontenot gets that ball, he's not going to have a play at first place on Hunter Pence. It may look odd to see a middle infielder let the ball roll through into center field, but actually in that case that would have been the better play. Let it roll through quickly to Fukudome and hold Hunter Pence to a single, because you're not going to throw him out from your belly in shallow center field.
Ball one on Carlos Lee. It's like Ted's in one of those games again. His last 4 starts, when he has been on the mound, he has received a grand total of 2 runs from his offense. And since coming off the DL, when he's left the game, it's been 0-0, 2-0 down, and 1-1. It's hard to win.
That's a perfect example why a pitcher's win-loss record is not the best indicator of the kind of season that he's had. Yeah, certain things are just out of your control. All you can do is try to execute pitches and keep the other team from scoring. But with the exception of your 3 or 4 at-bats in a ball game, there is really nothing you can do about helping your team score more runs.
And it does make you wonder if Ted, took off for second, thinking, well, we may not get a lot today. I'm going to try something here, and it didn't work. Spins and does not throw with Pence back to second base.
And we prefer that Ted does not throw back there. He's made 5 errors on the season already, an unusually high number for a starting pitcher. Some of those have been defensive plays coming off the mound to field bunts or swinging bunts. One play I remember, a ball got away from Giovanni Soto and he missed it at home plate as the runner streaked home from third. A couple of errant pickoff attempts.
I don't think a Cubs pitcher is going to win the Gold Glove this year. It's been a tough year defensively. Carlos Zambrano's thrown a few away. Lee pops it up. This is a big first out. It's the Cub killer Lee. Fontenot with the grab. In some ways, Bob, runner at second, no outs. It's not the worst thing in the world to face the cleanup man if you can get him out. And I say that because Carlos Lee is not thinking about moving a guy up to third. He's trying to do some damage. So if you get him out, a good chance you can keep that guy right at second base.
That's a great point. And you see it happen to every lineup. When you get to the 3, 4, 5 hitters in the lineup with a runner at second base and nobody out, rarely do you see those middle of the lineup guys try to take a shot to the right side of the field to advance the runner. Now there's just as many base hits on the right side of the field as there are on the left side, but the middle of the lineup hitters are going to try to drive the ball in the gap or out of the ballpark and maximize the damage, as opposed to maybe a number 2 hitter or a number 7 or 8 hitter who would be more likely to try to inside out the ball the other way to move that guy up to third base.
Pence is 14 out of 23 in stolen base chances. Lilly really watching it closely. Ted with that big leg kick. A bouncer. Blanco ranging far to his left. Nice play to get Tejada. A little bit of a short hop, but he played it cleanly. Pence now at third, but there are two gone.
Blanco, as we talked about earlier, very smooth defensively, tremendous body control, very accurate with his throws. We talk a lot about infielders' hands. They have soft hands. They have a strong throwing arm, but it all starts with your feet. You have to be able to get your body into a position to handle those late, tough hops. Obviously, the range that you have to your right and left, how much ground can you cover? How much ground can you cover in and back? And so far, we've seen Blanco pass all the tests defensively.
The 1-0 is low on Michael's 2 balls, no strikes. I think Ryan Terrio's gotten a lot better in terms of his balance and not leaving his feet, and I know it's something he's worked on with Alan Trammell, as that had been an issue for Ryan, kind of losing his footing. Popped up by Michaels. Derek over near the tarp, but has enough room. The Astros waste a leadoff double from Hunter Pence. He's marooned at third, and we're still scoreless. Winning mark, but having no pitchers with 10 wins. Couldn't remember. That's because it's never happened. Now Wells and Lilly went in with 9 wins, and Randy got his 10th yesterday. Rich Harden 8-8. Ryan Dempster 8-7. Carlos Zambrano 7-6. So kind of surrounding it, but nobody had gotten 2 double digits until Wells did last night. Strike on Blanco, who has made his presence felt with his defense. Fair ball into the left field corner. Lee up with it quickly. Throw to second's going to be late. A sliding hustle double for Andres Blanco, 6th of the year.
Fastball outside corner at the knees, just dropped the bat head on it, shot it right down into that left field corner, and then, as you said, a hustle double. Carlos Lee got over to that ball quickly, but Blanco outran his throw to second base. And here's that situation we were just talking about. The middle of the lineup hitters, the guys that are paid to drive in runs with the runner at second base and nobody out. This time Derek takes a shot toward right field on a hanging breaking ball. Derek just wants to drive that run in, and most of the time he's going to hit for more power if he hits the ball from center field around to left field. And when he doesn't elevate those balls, they end up being grounders hit at the shortstop or third baseman.
And he drives it deep to left, out of here. A line shot homer for Derek Lee. Homer number 27, RBIs 89 and 90.
And that's why managers don't ask their middle of the lineup hitters to advance runners with a weak ground ball to second base, because that pitcher makes a mistake, it may be a quick two-run swing in the score. Our Heineken home run replay. Fastball that was supposed to be low and away ended up high and in, and Derek Lee with a screaming line drive into the left field bleachers for a homer.
Derek, 10 RBIs away from 100 on the year. Good shot at a new career high. Keeps up this pace. Previous career best 107 in 05. Inside corner, 1-1. So they finally get to Felipe Paulino. Two-run homer from Derek Lee. Fouled back. I think Derek's focus today, I mean, obviously the 3 hours or so during the game, you're completely focused on the task at hand, but as wife Christina's do with their second child any day now. So certainly an exciting time at home.
Probably have the bag packed right next to the front door. Make sure there's gas in the car. You know, all those things you got to think of ahead of time.
Bradley strikes out. One away in the inning.
Paulino threw some of his best breaking pitches of the game to Jake Fox in his first at bat of this ball game, getting him to strike out on a slider out of the zone away. And Paulino goes right back to the breaking pitch again.
It was more of the loopy breaker. He's got that power slider in the upper 80s. That's that pitch at 90.
90-mile-an-hour slider.
A tighter spin that time. Leadoff double by Blanco, followed by the two-run line shot homer by Lee. Well, Jake's going to have to hit that slider today if he's going to have any success against Paulino. 2 outs.
And you know there are advanced scouts sitting behind home plate making a note of every pitch that's thrown in this game and what is the action that happens at home plate. And if today's first 2 at-bats are any indication, Jake Fox is going to see a steady diet of breaking pitches on the outside part of the plate.
Mike trying to finish strong on a tough stretch. 14 for his last 81. Coming into this at-bat. He got hot in July, hit 366 over a 13-game stretch, but A struggle since. .99 that time on the Heat. I don't think they were working. They shot some scouts before. I think the last shot they were just basking in the sun.
It's a good day for it. Well, and personally, and this is just my own opinion, I think a lot of Mike Fontenot's problems this year have stemmed from the fact he just hits too many balls in the air. Now, he does have surprising power for a man of his size, but he's not the kind of guy that's going to hit 20 or 25 or 30 home runs in a season, even as an everyday player. But has hit a lot of lazy fly balls just in front of the warning track in left, center, and right field, and it's just not going to get it done. Line drives, hard ground balls. The home runs will happen by accident. When the pitcher makes a mistake on a ball that's elevated in the zone, you put a good swing on it. If it's supposed to leave the ballpark, it will.
There's another fly ball, and it's Lee out in left, dealing with the sun, making the grab, and that's the inning. Derek Lee's fly ball left the ballpark, up into the bleachers. A two-run homer, and the Cubs have the lead after 4.
And not only getting to that ball and making the catch, but you could see the way he cradled it against his chest as he rolled around on the grass out there in shallow left center field to make sure the ball did not escape that glove.
Aaron Boone pops it into left. Fox will catch it. So Boone is flied out twice.
I want to wish a happy birthday to Alice Dranger from Valparaiso, Indiana. She says she's 86 years old today. She's been watching the Cubs since 1933. Happy birthday, Alice.
Well, I guess about the first 15 years or so, she was coming out to the ballpark to watch the Cubs, and then the late 40s watched them on TV, right?
I guess so.
Well, they've been listening before games were on television. Quintero pops out. See, she could tell everyone I had a salad for lunch. It was a little bread, maybe some other things underneath.
We know there's some cased meat under there somewhere.
like a house salad, please, and could you put a bratwurst in the middle?
Put a brat in there if you would.
The 0-1 to the pitcher. A step in the bucket maneuver, 0-2. If he makes contact, he's going to hit one a long way.
That's a big if.
He's put together. Felipe Paulino, 6'2", 180. And nasty curveball for strike 3. 1-2-3 shutdown inning. For Ted Lilly, took him just 7 pitches. 2-0 Cubs. Yeah, thanks. It's 2-0 Cubs. Ted Lilly has gotten used to not getting a lot of run support, but he's been very sharp on the mound today as the Cubs lead.
Well, and well, like we were talking about earlier, that's really all Ted Lilly can control, what he does against the Astros hitters. And so far, he has been dazzling today. Has a real good curveball working. Spotted his fastballs well. He's thrown a few of those backdoor sliders that he likes to use so well, and he's done his job.
Still a chance for a winning homestand, but the Cubs will have to win today and tomorrow against the White Sox to leave town at 6-4. Here comes a 1-2 to Baker, and he went. Quick call made by the home plate umpire, Las Diaz. That gives Paulino 6 strikeouts.
That's very similar to the slider we saw Paulino use against Jake Fox in the last inning. Very tough to pick up the rotation on that pitch. It's very tight, and as we said earlier, he throws it very hard in the high 80s, low 90s. That's the slower breaking ball right there, the curve ball in the high 70s.
Paulino's last outing was in relief at Arizona on Saturday, and it's his first start today since August 4th, a loss versus San Francisco. Just 1-6 as a starter with a 6.17. Called up from AAA Round Rock on August 18th, replacing Mike Hampton, who went to the DL. Swing and a miss. 2-2. He was their number 2 prospect, according to Baseball America, going into last year, down to number 7 this season. was signed as a non-drafted free agent shortstop back in 01. He's from the Dominican Republic, but is a product of their Venezuelan academy. Tejada out, Lee in, and it's going to be Lee. Ooh, boy, almost got out of his glove. Boy, a smart move by Miguel Tejada to just get out of the way. Wasn't it Adam Everett who suffered a broken leg when he collided out there with Carlos Lee a couple years ago?
Ooh, snow cone, a lot of white showing there. You could clearly see Carlos Lee calling for it all the way, and your job as an infielder when you hear that guy calling is to get out of the way, let him make the play. I don't know. It's, you know, we talk a lot about communication in the outfield and between outfielders and infielders. I think Tejada could hear Carlos Lee coming in from left field without even yelling. It'll sound like a train coming down the tracks when Carlos Lee gets a full head of steam going toward the infield.
Hit the heel of my glove. That's a great shot. 1 and 2 on Lilly. Problem is, in Houston they actually do have a train. That's why he could get a little confused.
Well, the train is afraid of Carlos Lee too.
Called strike 3. 7 punch outs for Paulino. He sent down 6 straight after the Derek Lee go-ahead home run. Lilly will face the top of the order as Kaz Matsui shows bunt, takes a strike. Lee, Fontenot, Mike with a slide, the catch. What a play by Mike Fontenot.
Couple of looks to see where that bullpen bench was down the right field line, and with no regard for his own safety goes sliding over that direction. Doesn't get any help from those relief pitchers in the Astros bullpen. Well, look at the amount of ground that he covered just to get there and be able to make that great sliding catch. Nice play.
So with 1 out, it's Keppinger, a strike. Seen some excellent defense from the middle infielders. Blanco and Fontenot. Oh, and 2. Struck him out. Ks against no walks for Ted. Hey, Cub fans want to throw out the first pitch at Wrigley on September 30th. How about taking some swings inside the Cubs batting cage, or maybe playing catch with a friend by the ivy? Your friends at MetLife want to make that happen. Visit Cubs.com/MetLife to enter for your chance to win. One ball, no strikes on Hunter Pence. I don't know if Snoopy will be here or not.
I heard a rumor that Charlie Brown's parents were going to be here. Hopefully we can get an interview with Mr. and Mrs. Brown.
Right. Hoisted into right. Bradley coming over. And makes the catch in foul territory, and that's a 1-2-3-6 for Lilly. 9 straight Astros have been sent down. Bottom 6. Cubs 2, Houston nothing. Kosuke Fukudome went around strike 1, shaking that right-hander wrist after that half swing. Will be followed by Blanco and Lee, who are responsible for the Cubs' 2-0 advantage. This feature earlier this year in Vine Line by editor Michael Wong on Kosuke Fukudome. He's from Kagoshima, Japan, and it's right at the bottom of an active volcano. It's a 3,665-foot active volcano. Roller backhanded, and Kosuke is going to beat it out for a hit. It's the 6th started for Blanco coming up.
It's one of those swings where Kosuke was almost running before he hit the ball. You can see he was leaning backwards out of the box, The slow roller to the backhand side for Miguel Tejada. And with Kosuke's speed, he's not going to get him at first on that one.
Kosuke also likes to golf in his downtime, and looking at a picture here, he's a right-handed golfer.
Really? Does it say what he shoots?
I'm sure it's pretty good.
I want to know how many strokes to ask for when they play.
It does not say. Quick throw to first. Just safe. Well, that's a tough one for a runner. You get screened by that left-handed batter. And Quintero came up firing.
And not only that, but when you see Blanco show bunt, you want to get that extra step and make it to second base. If he does put the ball down on the ground, that extra step. And Kosuke diving back to the far outfield corner of the base right there, making Aaron Boone come as far as possible with that tag before making contact.
Set now the 1-1. Getting in front of the plate by Blanco. Quintero's going to throw him out, but it's a successful sac bunt.
Nicely done. That ball just got out there in the dirt in front of home plate. A couple of bounces and died on the grass. Quintero only has the play to first base, moving Fukudome into scoring position once again for the middle of the Cubs lineup.
Gervasio, the righty. Burdack, the lefty. Tim Burdack lives in Chicago in the offseason. And he was not even here Monday. His daughter had an appendectomy. As Lee has intentionally walked. As they'll go after Bradley instead. This will be the second walk of the day issued by Paulino.
The 25th annual Cubs convention will take place at the Hilton Chicago on January 15th, 16th, and 17th, 2010. Rooms are available now by calling the Hilton Chicago at 312-922-4400 and asking for the Cubs convention rate. Weekend passes will go on sale in early November. For more information, as always, visit Cubs.com.
Cubs lead 2-0. They're trying to tack on here in the 6th. It's a relaxing day at the ballpark. And the ball just got out of the Astros bullpen, so slight delay. Dewey Robinson, the pitching coach, just made a trip to the mound. Another ball.
Set up a screen down there, for crying out loud.
Bring that guy in.
They can't catch him. Well, speaking of slight delays, we talked about this a little bit before we went on the air. The Arizona Diamondback LA Dodger game last night. I saw something I've never seen before, and hopefully never see again. Somebody brought a radio-controlled airplane to the ballpark. And during the course of Mark Reynolds' at bat for the Arizona Diamondbacks, all of a sudden there was this plane flying around Dodger Stadium. doing loops and corkscrews, and to the best of my knowledge, they didn't catch the culprit who was controlling the airplane. Eventually, it crashed in front of the first base dugout where the Diamondbacks were, and Augie Ojeda, former Cub, came out and picked it up and crushed it into a million pieces. But I have to say, I've never seen that one before.
That's different.
I've seen paper airplanes flying around a ballpark, but never a radio-controlled airplane.
Two and one to Bradley. An infield single, sac bunt, and then an intentional walk, and the third ball getting out of the Astros pen. I think Cecil Cooper's going to take notes.
Yeah.
Whoever just did that is not coming in.
Sit down, we'll try somebody else. What, are they playing keep away down there?
Now they have two guys protecting the bullpen catchers, but I think they're going to need two more to turn around and protect those guys.
Jeez.
The 3-1 pitch, a called strike, 3-2. You send the runners here, leading 2-0.
Normally I would say yes, but I think Lou is probably going to play it conservatively here. I think he's going to let Milton do his thing up there.
They are not running, and it's drilled to center, but Michaels is going to grab it. Tomorrow, the Crosstown Classic reignites on Comcast Sportsnet as Paul Konerko and the Sox head here to Wrigley to battle Derek Lee and the Cubs. Coverage starts with a special 1-hour edition of Felco Crosstown Classic pregame live. The Sox and Cubs tomorrow at noon on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend. The White Sox scored 4 in the 9th. All charged to Joe Nathan, and they salvage a finale. And I don't think it's going to make Ozzie say save the Metrodome, but they did win today 4-2. With 2 outs in the 9th, they rallied. Beckham and Konerko went back-to-back to tie the game, and then they ended up winning it. So I believe they're 2-8 on their road trip, which will end tomorrow here. They kick the 1-1 to Fox, a called strike, 1-2. It was a fastball. Ground ball to third, and the throw will go to second. Keppinger to Matsui. Cubs got a couple on, but did not score. Off to the 7-2-0 Cubs. following the game right here on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. Sam Fuld comes into play left. Jake Fox, who made the final out of the 6th, is done for the afternoon. Ted Lilly against Carlos Lee. Strike one. Former Cubs pitcher Milt Pappas, who threw a no-hitter 37 years ago today here at Wrigley Field against the San Diego Padres. We'll sing the stretch coming up. One, two to Lee. Ground ball to Baker. Right at him. Good routine play. So Jeff Baker thanked the Menards grounds crew for making sure there's no bad hop on that ground ball.
You know, Len, before this field was reconfigured and the crown was taken out and the new playing surface was put in, it wasn't unusual to hear not only visiting teams but the home team complain about some of the hops that they got on the infield, how slow the infield and outfield grass was. But I haven't heard nary a peep from visitors or home team about the playing surface here at Wrigley. It's been absolutely amazing. The weather extremes that they have to deal with here in Chicago in the summertime, concerts that they had here on Wrigley Field this summer, and the field is none the worse for wear.
Big cut by Tejada. 1-2. Ted Lilly's been sitting on 100 wins since July 11th when he beat St. Louis. It was 5 starts ago. He's not won yet here in the second half. But again, don't let that fool you. Huge foul. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. He has had impeccable command all year. If you missed some of the action, go to On Demand from Comcast and you'll have access to Comcast Sportsnet Cubs games ready to watch on your schedule. To find out more, call 1-888-4-BEST-TV. Inside corner to Michaels. Just 29 walks on the season for Ted Lilly. Nearing 150 innings. It's fantastic. Over his last, I'll count them up now, it's 84 2/3 innings. He has walked 12 and striking out 7. One and two.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure some of those 12 that you're talking about were semi-intentional walks, where there was a guy in the on-deck circle that Ted felt a little better about facing than the guy that was at the plate. Maybe he had a base open at first base, so rather than give in to a hitter that maybe had a good history against him, he pitched around him and issued the occasional base on balls just to go after the next hitter in the lineup.
Theodore Roosevelt Lilly. It's actually Theodore Roosevelt III. To a 2. Boone would bat next. A windup in the pitch. It's high and it's full. 3-2. Popped him up. Coy Hill makes the catch. Inning over. Time for the stretch with Milt Pappas.
After the ball game is Chicago Cubs great Milt Pappas.
To my friend Lou Piniella and the Chicago Cubs, in the inevitable words of Yogi Berra, it ain't over till it's over. Ron Santo, my former teammate, he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Least but not least, the greatest fans in baseball, you Chicago Cubs fans. Gary, you ready? And a 1, 2, and a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I ever get back forever. Root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Thank you, Chicago.
The out. Let's go back to 1972, September 2nd, 37 years ago.
Oh, look how skinny I am.
Milt got so close to a perfect game, but did complete the no-hitter.
Jerry Just there pops up. Carmen fan zone. There it is. Thanks to Bruce Fleming, my fat buddy.
How you doing, Milt?
I'm doing fine.
Nice to see you as always.
Hi, Bob.
Hi, Milt. 209-game winner over 17 years.
Yeah, it seems like a long stretch, but now that I'm 70, it seems even longer. I like to say hello to Moments High School with my wife as principal, so before I get shot when I get home. But it's, you know, we were talking about that with Ronnie, too, in the booth. You know, Don Drysdale was obviously a very, very good pitcher. He won 209 games and lost 166. He's in the Hall of Fame. I won 209, 164. Never even got on the ballot. Wow. So you tell me, guys.
Wow, is that true? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You had a better record than Don Drysdale.
I sure did. Wow, but this weather has been great all summer, hasn't it? Oh, my Lord.
Been a little cool lately, but again, we've been dry and just a perfect day today.
Right. White Sox finally won a game up in Minnesota.
Well, they came back against Joe Nathan in the ninth, and we'll have interleague play tomorrow.
Well, that's right. The White Sox
are
here.
Makeup game tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, it has not been a real enjoyable summer, but you know, they're not dead yet. They still got the wild card, but the Cardinals. I personally, I picked the Cardinals for like fifth. I said, what in the world? But the pieces came together. You know, they've been hurting for starting pitching for a long time. They got it together. They got Halladay and Mark DeRosa, of course.
And a couple of numbers here for you, Milt. Since Matt Halladay was acquired, the Cardinals are 26-9. He hit the game-winning homer last night. Carpenter starts tonight. When Wainwright, Carpenter, and Pinheiro have been on the mound since July 1st, they're 30-4. That kind of says it all.
30-4 in this day and age. Wow. Well, they kicked in the rear, boy, and they never looked back. And you know they got a Cubs. You know, you looked at them on paper in the spring, and they said it's a great team. You know, and the pitching staff wasn't all that bad. They lost Marquis, but I don't think that was any surprise to anybody that Jason left. But look what he's done. What has he got? 15 wins.
Yeah, he's been really good for the Rockies.
Well,
pitching has not been the problem, though.
No, it has not been a problem.
Lou mentioned it yesterday. An offense has been fairly inconsistent.
Yeah, that's been the key problem is the offense. And who would ever think with a lineup that goes out there with guys like Ramirez, Soriano, and Lee and Terrio that the offense would be sputtering. It amazed me to no end.
And the thing that seems odd is that they've never caught fire and run off any kind of a streak. You know, there have been individual games where they might put 15 or 17 hits on the board and score 8 or 10 runs, and you might start thinking, okay, here we go. And then the next day,
you know, Bob, you know, I appreciate what you say. You know, you call the game and you speak. You know, if they're not doing the right things, you know, people aren't stupid. They're watching the game. They see the same thing you do and I do. And I appreciate the honesty that you guys have. Hey, if the club's not playing good, you got to say it. I mean, people watch the game. They're not stupid. They're great baseball fans.
Right. Boy, Hill takes ball 4, getting alive, and Ted Lilly's going to take the advantage. Check out that first pitch. It's always fun for you to get back up on that.
Oh, yeah. Since I got a cortisone shot on Monday, really. My doctor says, you got a horrible shoulder. I said, thanks. No, I got it up there. Jeez.
That's great.
70 years old, and of course, after 40 years of pitching, something's got to go.
But by and large, you're in one piece. That's good to see.
Yeah. Still working for Prime Stores. Been there for 20-some years selling nails and screws. And I had a daughter just got out of college. So people say, aren't you retired? I said, no, I'm a kid in college. But now she's teaching 7th grade in Crete, and she loves it. And that's just, and the other 2 kids are grown and gone. But I just, you know, to me, these people here are the best fans anywhere. They're phenomenal fans. And they know the game. They're very smart. They come out. They support the team to most part. And it's just a pleasure. It's just a pleasure to come out here and be with these people.
We're here with Milt Pappas. And as Ted Lilly is going to go into the 8th with a shutout. Fun to watch him pitch, Milt.
Yeah, he is. I mean, I don't know about you, Bob. When I see him pitch, I want to grab a bat. I see that. I said, "Mom, I want to grab a bat and go up and hit against him, but he gets you out." You know, he's not overpowering, but he reminds me a lot of Greg Maddux. Here, there, up here, down here, up here.
Add a little, take a little off. Right. You know, you never see 2 pitches in a row, the same speed and the same location.
And that's why he's so successful. Plus the fact is, you know, Bob, when the umpires see that, after your rookie year, they start to go along with you too, as long as you don't, you know, as long as you don't put shame on them.
Shallow right, and it's a second baseman, Matsui, to make the catch. See if the Cubs can hang on over the final 2 innings. 2-0 they lead. Milt, always a pleasure. Great to see you back here.
Lenny, thank you, my friend. Great to be back. Bob, pleasure, my friend. Good seeing you.
going into the 8th. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered.
It's appropriate that was a rapid rewind because that home run ball got out of here rapidly. That was a screaming line drive.
Lilly against Boone. Pitch number 91 of the day, and it's inside. I think Lou's going to have a pretty short leash for Lilly, although nobody is up in the bullpen. But if the Astros get one on, they'll put the tying run at the plate. And also remember, with Bourne and Berkman and Blum out of the lineup, they're all available to pinch hit as we look down the road. Cubs with an addition to their bullpen today is rookie righty David Patton. Came off the 15-day disabled list. And he is available. There's David, the redhead. Ground ball to short. Blanco picks it up. Boone is out. And his return, Boone 0 for 3. Captain Morgan Club on Addison and Sheffield is the hottest new spot to watch the Cubs at every sporting event. Open year-round with 30 flat-screen TVs and an outdoor patio. Visit the Captain Morgan Club for a chance to win a batting practice session on Wrigley Field. Check out CaptainMorganClub.com to see all the daily specials and promotions. Quintero, and then Berkman is going to pinch hit for Burdack. Lee goes out, just can't get it. Kicks away from him. Quintero trying to get to second, and he will with a double. That's significant because you have a home run hitter in Berkman, even though he's gone through a long drought, coming up with a chance to possibly tie it.
Quintero could not have thrown that ball out there any better than that. Just over the outstretched glove of Derek Lee, close to that right field line. Too shallow for Milton Bradley, too far away from Mike Fontenot. And just about the time that ball was landing out there in shallow right field, we see some activity down in that Cubs bullpen.
And it's Angel Guzman down there. LaTroy Hawkins is up for Houston.
You mentioned at the top of the show, Len, that the Astros have really struggled against Ted Lilly in his career in the National League. Lance Berkman, no exception, 3 for 25 lifetime. That's a 120 batting average. Now, that being said, anybody with a bat in their hands can be extremely dangerous. You just hope Ted continues to execute the pitches the way he has up to this point of the ballgame.
For whatever reason, this is not been a very comfortable place to hit for Lance Berkman. He's always dangerous. Coming off the bench today, 0-2. He's hit .228 in his career at Wrigley Field. It's pretty surprising for a career .300 hitter. Outside. Those numbers you were talking about. .306 career homers. 1,549 hits. Runner at second, 1 out. No 1-2 from Lilly. Struck him out. Like a good changeup from Ted. And Berkman could not lay off it.
Perfectly located changeup. Started at the knees, dropped a little below the knees, just off of the outside corner. Well, one thing you have to avoid now is a letdown. Obviously, that is a huge out, getting Lance Berkman in a pinch hit situation with a runner at second base. You got to continue to make good pitches on Kaz Matsui.
Lilly ready. Here's the 1-0. Fouled away, 1-1. There's no guarantee, by the way, that a single gets the Astros on the board with the catcher Quintero, the runner at second. It's only the second time all day they put a runner in scoring position. It was Pence back in the fourth who ended up getting stranded at third after a leadoff double. Cincinnati, the Reds have won their fourth in a row, 5-3 over the Pirates. Coleman Bailey beat Zach Duke. 39,192 packed into Wrigley Field. Many are on their feet. High fly ball, Fukudome drifting. And catching, and the inning is over. Lilly threw 8 with a 4-hit shutout. Bottom 8, 2-0 Cubs. Thanks, Gail. A perfect day weather-wise, and well, not perfect, pretty close to it for Ted Lilly. 4 hits, no runs through 8. Carlos Marmol is up in the bullpen, so well, it looks like he's going to get the ninth, but we'll wait and see. Hawkins, the former Cub, is on to face the top of the order, Fukudome, Blanco, and Lee. Kosuke has reached twice on a walk and an infield single. He flagged to left in his other at bat. Catcher Quintero wanted time as to stop Hawkins before he pitched. Kick, the 2-0. The foul right behind the plate. Oakland leads Kansas City 3-0. Bottom 2 in Oakland. And one of the game underway. Nationals and Padres scoreless in the top of the 4th. John Lannon, Kevin Correa battling in that one. Call it strike 3. Brings him up on a fastball.
Birthday wishes to Carol Dyer from Melbourne, Florida. 80 years old today, and the letter says she's a 44-year Cub fan. Makes you wonder who she rooted for the first 36 years.
It does.
Well, have a great day anyway, Carol.
She's trying to make it 2 in a row. Series win. Lost 2 of 3 to Washington. Beat the Mets 2 out of 3. Trying to do the same here against Houston. Cubs have 64 losses. That's what they had all of last year. And they won 97. She borrowed some of your eyeshadow for the Open. Swing and a miss. 2-1.
I got no problems with shadows. I get plenty of shadows under my eyes. Not pink.
Your eyelid piercing too is missing. Looks like.
I'm having it polished. I left it at the jeweler this morning.
Bouncer, and Hawkins will snag it and get the out. The BMW ultimate drive of the game. Derek Lee with a 2-run homer, and that's it for the scoring to this point. 90 RBIs on the season. He's back in the 4th.
Ted Lilly was so good today. He was able to make those 2 runs stand up. He's kept the Astros off the board once again, limiting them to 4 hits through 8 innings of work.
Foul pop out of play.
I'll tell you, Len, it takes a special mindset as you get a look at Derek Lee's numbers against LaTroy Hawkins. For a pitcher to go out and continue to throw quality games the way Ted Lilly has, the way Randy Wells has this year, when you know you're going to get very little run support. You know you have very little margin for error. But yet they seem to thrive in those situations, and it brings out the best in them.
That's a good way to look at it. I think those 2 guys have meshed well. no question Randy Wells tries to soak up as much knowledge as he can from veterans like Ted. And yeah, Randy's a right-hander, Ted's a lefty, but the approach you can always talk about.
Especially the mental part of it. You know, what do you do on a start where you leave the bullpen and you feel like you have absolutely nothing? How do you go about getting through that first inning of a ball game and hopefully settling in out there on the mound? You got an opposing hitter that just wears you out. You know, what do you do? What do you try? Well, there's a lot to be learned, whether you're a right-hander or a left-hander, from talking to pitchers who have been there and done that.
Ryan Dempster, another guy who's been there, done that. He'll pitch tomorrow. Rich Harden, the veteran, swing and a miss. So Hawkins wins this battle against Lee. And the Cubs go down 1, 2, 3. We'll head off to the ninth, and it'll be Carlos Marmol facing Keppinger, Pence, and Lee. Places like the press box, clubhouses, dugouts, and much more. Tours are available on select dates throughout the season. Tickets are $25, and a portion of the proceeds benefit Cubs designated charities. For more info or to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. Carlos Marmol's trying to pick up back-to-back saves. Saved last night's 4-1 win. Today it's 2-0, and he'll face Michael Bourne batting for Jeff Keppinger. Bourne had 3 hits last night. He's been the hottest hitter in this lineup. 11-game hitting streak, on base 25 straight games. We're going to have one chance probably to extend those streaks. Corner men are in. Ground ball right to Lee. 2 pitches and 1 out.
Boy, that is a big out because of the disturbance that Michael Bourne can cause when he gets on base. Always a threat to run. Changes the way the defenders position themselves, changes the pitches that Carlos Marmol might throw. That is a big first out here in the ninth.
Hunter Pence. Ooh, he almost ducked right into that slider. Well, in his defense, there weren't too many places for him to go. Actually, did the right thing. hasn't been a particularly comfortable AB, has it?
Not so far. Huge pitch over his head, then a big swing and a miss to get out of the way of that last slider that just never took the break. Sometimes that happens with Carlos. It seems like when he really tries to overthrow that slider, it just doesn't take the break.
Nicely done, sir. Two, another foul. Each team with just 4 hits, but the Cubs have the home run. 2-run shot by Derek Lee in the 4th. Three and 2. Got to challenge him. Got to make him at least think about swinging.
About 90% of the time in these full count situations against the right-hander, we see Carlos go to the slider. Threw it for a strike that time, fouled straight back by Hunter Pence.
The numbers are on his side. I mean, he's got a 2-0 lead. He's given up 1 home run all year in 61 2/3 innings. And Carlos Lee is on deck. Set up toward the outside part of the plate. As a former catcher and with his command issues and the fact he's thrown mostly sliders in this inning, you're kind of asking for a pitch a little off the plate. I mean, the idea is to get him to try to swing at it.
Well, with Marmol's command issues that he's had this year, you almost have to sit down the middle of the plate on everything unless it's an 0-2 or a 1-2 pitch. I mean, that's just wishful thinking, setting up on the outside corner with Carlos Marmol. You have no idea where that ball's going to end up.
The 0-1 to Lee. Now it's 0-2. Lined in the left on an 0-2 mistake. Two on with only 1 out.
Well, Carlos Lee loves that ball down around his ankles. That's a slider well below the knees. Yeah,
it wasn't really a mistake.
He went down and golfed it. That was about the same location as the home run he hit the other night to left center field. A ball down there below the knees. Good low ball hitter.
Edwin Masonette is going to run for Lee, representing the tying run. Miguel Tejada, ball 1. Jeff Blum is on deck for Jason Michaels. Welcome to September with expanded rosters. Managers have a lot more to work with late. 1-1. Fly ball right center. It's going to be Bradley. 2 down. Blum for Jason Michaels. 2 pinch hitters and a pinch runner in this inning.
Blum has had a respectable year for the situation he finds himself in. A .262 hitter with 9 homers, 45 RBIs. However, 1 for 7 as a pinch hitter off the bench.
Jerk foul. Two on with 2 down. Cubs leading 2-0. Pulled foul again. Marmol ready. Here it comes. Popped him up on the infield. Who's going to take it? Jeff Baker with a catch. Cubs win. And they win 2 of 3. A chance for a 6-4 homestand if they can win the makeup game tomorrow against the White Sox.